All right, so after you shot Stanford, I think you said it was just a couple days later
Yeah.
they came over here to this house. My
Yeah.
first question is, how did they even know that you lived right here, you know, kind of outside the set, but very close to the set, but slightly outside the set? Somebody had to have some first-hand information.
Oh yeah, so it goes without saying, right? I used to be out. I used to pull my blue 64 right in front of my house and wash it. So people going by, they would see me. Matter of fact, one of the Rollin 60s, so I called in my neighborhood, and I was packing, and I was like, "You lucky I ain't about that life no more," right? I was about it, but if we not beefing, I'm not about it. You know what I mean? Because it got to one point where it's about retaliation. Like, I ain't banging no more. I mean, I'm not really active. Like, I'm involved, but you know, that's the only way I'm involved. But in any event, it got to a point to where people knew where I stayed. Like, they just knew. Like, people from my neighborhood knew where I stayed. People knew that I lived in the 50s. You know, it was no secret. You know, it was nothing to hide. It's not nothing that I'm ashamed of. You know, this is the hood, right? All of this. I'm familiar with every aspect of Normandy, from here all the way down to Rosecrans, from here all the way down to Hollywood. You know, these were some streets that I walked, and I terrorized these communities, right? So, yeah.
So you get the word that retaliation occurred at this house. Do you know exactly how it played out? Were your parents outside? Were they inside? Was there a knock at the door? Like, what's the story of how it actually happened?
So I got a phone call from somebody who stayed right there on 53rd and Normandy, who told me what had occurred. They called me, and so I called, and my phone, nobody answered the phone. So I knew something was not right, because usually someone would answer the phone. It was like 10 o'clock or so at night. So at that point, I got in the car and had someone drive me down here, and we parked on, when we got to 51st, we saw tape in front of the house. And so at that point, I realized that something tragic had happened. So I asked him to park right there on the corner on Raymond and 51st, and for him to go see what had happened. And so when he came back, he told me that he had it backwards. He said that my mother was killed and my little brother might not make it. But the fact of the matter is, I heard that someone knocked on the door, and my older brother was here as well. But he was sitting in the living room with my little brother, who was ironing his clothes to go to school the next day. And so my older brother went into the back room, to my old bedroom, which was my little brother's bedroom at that point. And my mother came out the living room. No. My brother went, and one of them answered the door. And my little brother was shot first. And he died, right, not too far from the door. And my mother came out of her bedroom, and then they shot her. At least that was the understanding that I got. And the thing is, my brother told me that when the police got here, that they wouldn't go inside the house. They had him handcuffed, and they say that my mother, like she went into shock because she had lost so much blood. So my heart goes out to my brother, you know, because he was here when that tragic moment occurred, and he had an opportunity to see, you know, the conditions that our beloved family members were in. And so I have no way of knowing what life has been for him moving forward.
So your older brother gave you pretty much most of the information. He was present, right? He was in the house.
And actually, you know, these are some things that I really didn't learn until recently. Because one of the things that I want to do is come out and have these healing conversations with my family. You know what I mean? Because I understand now what it takes in order to heal. So I came out of here with a mission. I came out of here with a mission to heal my family, to heal my community, right? You know, as a result of all this tragedy that has occurred. So when I'm back out here in the community, it's to honor my mother and little brother now. It's because, you know, they were my guiding light. You know what I mean? They were the watchtower which kept me focused during time. Because when I got arrested, I made a promise to myself, and I made a promise to them when I was in the holding tank on the very night that I got arrested. And I said, since they had died for me, all right, since they had died for me, that I was going to live for them. And what I did to, like, symbolically to embrace that was, I said that I'm going to exercise for the rest of my life. And that day I did 300 push-ups in the holding tank to honor them. And so whenever things pop up, whenever I'm having any self-doubt, I'm talking about during my stint, I would say to myself, what would they want from me? And so being that they died for me and I'm going to live for them, that meant that I had to live for them, right? And living for them meant that I couldn't be involved in that chaotic stuff that I was involved in. You know, but for me, I realized that once I had the opportunity to do the work, to go and unpack all my traumas and understand what motivated my behavior as a child and as a teenager and adolescent, I told myself that I'm definitely going to get out, man, to heal my family and to heal my community. And so it feels good, you know, to be taking that on and to be doing it in their honor.
What were the conversations like between you and your two sisters who have since passed on? Did you get a chance, since you've been home? Well, let me ask you this. What were the conversations like over the phone from prison with your sisters? And then what was it like after you came home, if you even had conversations from prison with your sisters?
So let me say this. There's been so much tragedy in my life. And I know that we all have stories to tell, and you know, we all go through grief differently. But I'm gonna tell you, man, my older sister, in 77, she was drugged and raped, and she never was the same. She was put in a mental institution, and she passed away in a mental institution. She would get out periodically, but she was never the same since that chemically her body was thrown off after she was drugged. So that was my sister Denise, and she passed away in a mental institution in October of 2022.
Did it get worse as she got older, or?
Well, I can say, you know, it's just she was never the same, put it like that. And so I was in prison, so I never was able, she was one of the ones who told me that she never had a brother, that I'm not her brother no more, as far as she's concerned. So I never had a chance to really resolve anything with her. But I know that, you know, I feel forgiven by her, you know. But my younger sister, older than me, Danetta, after 7 years of my incarceration, a friend of hers, Marsha, inspired her to write me. So we started writing back and forth. She came to visit me, and I would call, and we was able to move beyond what occurred.
Oh, he used to live right here.
Yeah.
I grew up right here on this block. My name Crips. I grew up down the street. My mom used to stay on this side, and my dad used to stay on this side.
Who's your people?
Wilson's.
Okay, Poncho Wilson, Jamie Wilson.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, I'm Craig.
Crips. Ross.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, that's crazy. Man, God worked crazy. Yo,
It's all
My
good.
mother's name is Beth.
Beth, yeah.
Yeah, I remember she was telling me stories of what happened to your family. My condolences.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Damn, that was you. Oh, this is.
yeah.
Your brother David.
David, yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, man. I think about y'all. You know what I'm saying? Every time, you know what I'm saying? My mother, you
It's
my
all
brother
good.
Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron.
Man, that's my oldest brother.
Yeah, Aaron. Kim. Danielle. Yeah, Damien.
I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
Did you have an idea who he was before you?
I had an idea. I mean, my level of discernment, what I, you know, some told me that I was gonna go that way. Some told me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, this is crazy.